Worthy one, the reason you're watching this video is because you are sick and tired of the path of your life and you want to make a change. Now, the good news is you can make a change, but the tough news is it's going to be hard. What's up, it's Gene, this word to be great. All change, no matter if it's your habits, your beliefs, or your behaviors, it's all going to start with you. And the place that it's going to start is in your mind. So in this video, I am going to show you how to reprogram your mind for mental resilience. Now, what is mental resilience? It's your ability to stay the course when you have a setback, you have a disappointment, when you're trying to make a change. See, no matter what you're trying to do, if you're not resilient mentally, you're not going to be successful at those changes. So in order for us to get more in depth with this, let's talk about these two minds that you have so we can distinguish the two so you can understand how change happens. Now we're going to talk about the conscious and the subconscious mind. Now the way I'm going to explain these is I'm going to talk about riding a bike. Now, do you remember when you first learned how to ride a bike, right? You got on that bike and you was trying your best to balance yourself so you could put your foot on the pedal. You felt all wobbly. You were scared. The reason you felt that way is because you was trying to think about everything you had to do to ride that bike. That is your conscious mind. That is the mind that allows you to think in the moment. That is the mind that allows you to think logically. What's up, it's Gene. Subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you don't miss one of my weekly motivational educational videos. But you remember when you learn how to ride that bike, you will get on that bike, you just ride that bike. You don't have to think about it. You'll turn, you do whatever you have to do because you do not have to think about it anymore. That's because your subconscious mind has taken over the bike riding process. So how did that happen? You see, the more you think about something and you work on it, the more it starts to get embedded in your subconscious mind. And when that happens, it happens automatically. You see, your conscious mind, it is responsible for about 5 to 10% of your everyday functions in your body and in your life. Now, your subconscious mind, it is responsible for about 90%. Most of the things that you do throughout the day is through your subconscious. When you go to sleep at night and you breathe, that's your subconscious mind. When your heart is beating, that is your subconscious mind. It is the automatic system in your body. So how can we use this information to be able to change from something that we don't want in our life to bring in something that we do want? Now we're going to go through this and we're going to start with talking about self-assessment. Now, self-assessment is a deep and honest evaluation of our own emotions, attitudes, and behaviors. See, in order for you to make any changes, you have to evaluate yourself and ask yourself, what are the things I want to change? And what I want you to do is I want you to think about one thing, one area in your life that you want to change, and we're going to talk about this more in depth. Now that you have been able to find that one thing that you want to change, that moves us to the second thing, which is self-awareness. Self-awareness is being able to recognize the behaviors, emotions, or attitudes that you want to change. You are aware of those. Now, what we're going to use in self-awareness is what's called the basic ID or the basic id by a guy named Lazarus. And what I'm going to do is break down several parts of this that I feel will be more relatable to this topic. And I want you to get a pen and paper and write these down because I promise you, once we go through these, you're going to have a better understanding of yourself and how you can start to reprogram your mind for mental resilience. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the different parts of the basic id or the basic ID quickly. So I want you to write these down. And then I'm going to come back and go through these more in depth with an example from my own life. The first one is behavior. That is how you act. The second is affect. That's how you feel emotionally. The third is sensation. That is how you feel physically. The fourth is imagery. That is how you visualize yourself or the self-image you have of yourself. The fifth is cognition. That is your thoughts and beliefs. And the sixth is interpersonal. That is your social influences. So what I'm going to do is go back through these in depth, and I'm going to use an example from my personal life. Now, the one thing I want to change about myself when I got the hood was my angry reactions. I had a hard time acting off emotional impulse. It was crazy because when I first got to college and got on the basketball team, my first practice, I got in a fight. And I'll never forget my coach looked me in the eye and he said, Gene, if you're going to be on this team, you got to control your anger, man. You can't be attacking your teammates. You can't be cursing everybody out. You're going to have to control yourself or you're not going to be on this team. Now, that was some real strong language for me. I was afraid of getting put off that team, but I knew I had to make this change. So let's talk about the basic ID when it pertains to my anger. 1, what behavior did my anger lead to? Well, it's simple. I wanted to swing punches at people. I was cursing people out. I was pushing people. I couldn't deal with no criticism without going off. That was a problem. So when you're thinking about the thing you want to change, ask yourself the question, what behavior am I engaging in because of this thing that I want to change? 2, how did I feel when I got angry? What effect did it have? When I got angry like that, my heart would beat fast. I would start sweating. My lips would start feeling numb. I mean, that anger would just get the best of me. So what effect do you have with the thing you want to change? How is it affecting you? 3, sensation. Boy, the sensation I felt was pure rage. I mean, I would be emotionally just out of control, on fire, just pure rage. So when you're thinking about yourself when it pertains to your sensation, what emotions do you feel? Do you feel anger? Do you feel depression? Do you feel sadness? Now, the imagery. What imagery did I have? Well, when I used to get angry, I used to envision myself almost being like a gangster. So I would go in this like gangster mode and want to fight everybody. So what imagery do you have? What's your self-image? How do you visualize yourself? 5, cognition. What thoughts and beliefs did I have when I had that anger? I was going straight into hood mode. I'd be telling myself, you know what? I ain't no punk. I'm from the streets. Ain't nobody going to talk to me like that. Ain't nobody going to stare at me like that. And I had this belief that in order for me to show people that I was a man, in order to show people I was strong, I had to act gangster. I had to be out of control. I had to be a hothead. So when you're thinking about the thing you want to change, what are your thoughts and beliefs that are aligned with the thing you want to change? 6, interpersonal. What social influences led to that? And I can tell you straight up, the social influences was the music I was listening to, the people I grew up around on the streets. We all had that same street mentality. So those were the social influences that allowed me to develop this mindset that also was embedded with my anger. So when you're thinking about your interpersonal, what social influences has influenced the thing you want to change about your life? It will give you an opportunity to be able to break away from the beliefs that you have developed from those influences. Now, as I said in the beginning, making any change in your life will be hard. It will start with your mind. And in order for it to be successful, you have to have mental resilience. So I'm gonna give you 3 things you can do to reprogram your mind for mental resilience. 1, reframing your NATs. So what do I mean by NATs? NATs are negative automatic thoughts. See, when you're trying to change something, your subconscious mind will have thoughts pop up in your head automatically that can lead to behaviors. You see, as I said, when it pertained to my impulsive anger, anytime somebody said something to me, I had these automatic thoughts. And what they were was, I'm not a punk, I'm from the streets. Those are NATs. That is a negative automatic thought that led to the behavior I did not want. So in order to reframe that, when somebody said something to me and I got that idea that I'm not a punk, I have to show them I'm tough, I would say in my mind, Gene, you're not on the streets no more. It's okay. That person disrespecting you does not have to lead to you crashing out in anger. What you can do is take this opportunity to grow so you can become a functional adult. That is how I reframe that NAT. I replace that negative thought with a positive, empowering thought. See, that's what you're going to have to do if you want to be able to develop that mental resilience to visualizing success. Now, I really want to be a person that had control of his anger. So what I start to do is to visualize myself being in situations in which I know I would normally lose my cool. I will visualize myself being a calm individual, controlling my anger. See, whatever it is you're trying to change, it's great to visualize beforehand you're being successful, because what you do in those situations is you're training your subconscious mind to have a different reaction. Because if you don't do this, you're going to keep engaging in the same behaviors you've always done, because that is the knack that has been there. But if you want to start making more positive decisions, you have to start training your mind. Hey, check this out. If you know you are lacking mental resilience and you need help to build it so you can be the person you need to be, I want to encourage you to get my premium ebook, Worded to Be Great, by clicking the link below. 3, create a vision board of success images. Now, another great way you can train your subconscious mind to move down a path that you really want is taking images of your success and put them on a board that you see all the time. For example, let's say you're an individual, right? And you say, I'm tired of being 200 pounds overweight. I want to lose this weight. I want to be slim. I want to be consistent in the gym. You get a cardboard, and what you do is you take images of yourself or other people and you put those images of your thinner self. And that is a reminder to you that you want to make this change. Now, the great thing about that, it also helps to train the subconscious mind. So this is the benefit of having a vision board. I created a new vision board for myself this year, and one thing I'm focusing on is being wealth conscious, because I grew up with a poverty mindset. Now, to help me to train my subconscious mind from lack to abundance and wealth, I went and got these gigantic, fake $100 bills, and I have these on my vision board, right? I also have them around my place. So every time I walk around, I can see these and they remind me to think about wealth. So when it pertains to you, whatever change you want to make, I want to encourage you to create a vision board and get the images that's going to help you to move forward. Now, you have to realize this. No matter what changes that you want to do, you're going to have some relapses. You're going to have some setbacks. So you must have that mental resilience. You must tell yourself every day you're going to move forward. You have to be committed to the change, because if you're not committed to it, you're not going to be successful. So use the information in this video so you can start reprogramming your mind for mental resilience, because you are worthy to be great. If you like this video, I want to ask you to like and share this video. Also, join my Word to Be Great newsletter. This newsletter is designed to help you build your self-worth, your self-discipline, your self-confidence so you can realize your dream. So click the link below and join my newsletter today.